also have a proclamation for Kevin.
Get that music started.
And again, I'm not going to read all the whereases, but it really is a wonderful proclamation for Kevin. So Kevin?
I want to thank Patrice for those very kind words. It kind of reminds me of a plaque hanging on my brother's wall. It says, "I want to be the kind of person that my dog thinks I am." And I hope that I can be worthy of your approval. The last time I was in this room was back in August for our film festival. And at that time I was doing a hula dance with our First Lady, Mary Doherty.
Oh.
Did you bring the hula skirts?
Not tonight, Kevin.
And speaking of dancers, weren't those dancers really great before?
They were awesome.
I'm going to keep my remarks brief, but I do have a couple things I do want to say tonight. And before I get started, there are some very important people that I need to thank. Of course, thanks to Mayor Doherty and the First Lady for being here tonight, and also Congressman Frelinghuysen was here, and Senator and Assemblyman Bucco, and also our Councilwoman Rebecca Feldman. Forgive me if I'm leaving anybody out. You can't have a speech without quoting that great prophet, Yogi Berra. So I'd like to thank everyone for making this evening necessary. There are a lot of dear friends here tonight in the audience, including my dear old dad, who came all the way from Boston. And if he looks a little cranky, it's because I made him shave off his World Series beard. I'd also like to thank the wonderful volunteers. We have 3 of them here today, Marie, Berit, and Bill from MorristownGreen.com, to our readers and our advertisers who make MorristownGreen.com possible. And also one of them who could not be here tonight, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our dear friend, Chef Melody, who may have catered for some of you in this room. She's at all our events, and she's under the weather, so please send your thoughts and prayers to her. She could use them. And also, I'd like to congratulate my distinguished co-honoree, Thomas Welsh. Where is he? And thank him for all that he has done for the town and for the Nabe. And I made the mistake in print of calling him an ex-Marine, and my apologies for that. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Thank you for service. And of course, last but far from least, I'd like to give my thanks to the Neighborhood House and to Cornerstone for this evening. This really is a great honor and has a very special meaning for me. You know, the Neighborhood House, the motto is making a difference every day. And it's been true for a very long time. I'd like to share a quick quote with you. The Neighborhood House is, quote, "the only place where all can gather together without the feeling of superiority, where all can have the feeling of brotherly love." That was from the annual meeting in 1915. I covered it. And it is true today, and I can say this because I have been privileged to observe the difference that the Neighborhood House makes in people's lives. I have seen the Stars After School program bringing arts and educational opportunities to kids. I've seen celebrations of African American and Latino culture. I've eaten a lot of great food. I've seen the athletic programs that channel kids' energy in a positive direction. I've seen the Thanksgiving baskets that make sure no one goes hungry for the holidays. I've heard many, many unsolicited testimonials from people like Dr. Judy Banks, who remember growing up at the Neighborhood House and how it turned their lives around. And we had a reminder just a few weeks ago when a very diverse group of people came together for one amazing day, and they built a playground at the Nabe. The exposure to all of this has made a difference in my life. Tonight would have made my mom smile. She was very active in her church group. She participated in civil rights rallies on the Green. the New Haven Green. And I gotta say, I was pretty young then, and most of the places where we lived when I was growing up were pretty homogenous. I didn't know many people of color or people who spoke another language. Morristown has changed that. There have been many events where I have been a minority, where I have been practically the only white person or Anglo person in the room. And not to be glib about this, I mean, we all know that being a minority in America too often has been a very unhappy experience. But that has not been my experience, thanks to the people in this room at the Neighborhood House. I've been made to feel welcome at the Neighborhood House, at churches and banquet halls, at weddings and funerals, at protests and festivals. I've received nothing but warmth and kindness. Some of my hosts have been well off, others have been struggling, but all have shared generously what they had without hesitation. I wish everyone could have these opportunities, because it's very hard to demonize someone you know on a first-name basis. Someone you shared a meal with, someone who's watched a ball game with you, someone with whom you shared a laugh or shed a tear. And that's the beautiful thing about diversity. It reminds us how much, deep down, we're really the same. We all want the same things for the people that we love. We all love the Nabe, and at Morristown Green, we love being your community partner. And I thank you for honoring me tonight. You have touched me deeply, but I have to say, you could honor me more. You could honor me by keeping Morristown Green, this essential, vital, and hopefully engaging labor of love, alive. Alive to keep sharing your stories. Morristown is a revolutionary town, and I like to think that Morristown Green is a direct descendant of that legacy that made our country great. It's a land of newcomers and old-timers who think there's nothing better in the world than spending time together. And like our namesake, the Morristown Green, MorristownGreen.com is that place where we all can come together. So, if you like having us around, if you appreciate a media outlet where all voices are welcome, where neighbors talk and not shout, where we celebrate our uniqueness, where, like the Nabe said back in 1915, all can gather without feelings of superiority, and spread the word. Sign up for our email newsletter, like us on Facebook, tweet our stories. You can write for MG. You can make a donation online, you can buy an ad. Become a partner in our film festival. Help us create MGTV, the online television for Morristown. If you really want to honor me, please continue to support the Nabe and Cornerstone. And please continue to support our work at MorristownGreen.com in real and concrete ways. Thank you.
Morristown.